India. India is a very interesting country. It is actually about one-third the size of the United States, but its population is the second most populous in the world. Here are some really interesting facts about India. Many Indians find toilet paper repellent and consider it cleaner to splash water with the left hand in the appropriate direction. It's illegal for foreigners and non-citizens to take India currency out of India. It actually has one of the world's highest rates of murder in the world, at over 40,000 murders per year. India is the largest democracy in the world. Dancing is one of India's most highly developed arts and was an integral part of worship in the inner shrines of every temple. It is notable for its expressive hand movements. And rabies is an epidemic in India. Additionally, Delhi belly or diarrhea is commonplace due to contaminated drinking water. A widow is considered bad luck, and India is the birthplace of chess. Now let's dive into more interesting facts about, specifically, media in India. Southern Asia, bordering the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal between Burma and Pakistan. India's population is 1,328,900,000 people. Its capital is New Delhi. India's government is a federal parliamentary republic, according to CIA World Factbook. The aggregate score in India is 77 out of 100, 0 being the least free and 100 being the most free. Its freedom rating is 2.5 out of 7, and its civil liberties rating is 3 out of 7, 1 being the most free, 7 being the least free. In power distance, India scores high on this dimension, its score being 77, which indicates an appreciation for hierarchy and a top-down structure in society and organizations. In individualism, India, with a rather intermediate score, is 48. It is a society with both collectivistic and individualistic traits. The collectivist side means that there is a high preference for belonging to a larger social framework in which individuals are expected to act in accordance to the greater good of one's defined in-groups. India's masculinity score is 56 and is considered a masculine society. India is very masculine in terms of visual display of success and power. The designer brand label, the flash and ostentation that goes with advertising one's success, is widely practiced. However, India is also a spiritual country with millions of deities and various religious philosophies. It is also an ancient country with one of the longest surviving cultures, which gives it ample lessons in the value of humility and abstinence. In uncertainty avoidance, India scores 40, and thus has a medium to low preference for avoiding uncertainty. In India, there is an acceptance of imperfection. Nothing has to be perfect, nor has to go exactly as planned. India is traditionally a patient country where tolerance for the unexpected is high, even welcomed as a break from autonomy. People generally do not feel driven and compelled to take action initiatives and comfortably settle into established roles and routines without questioning. Rules are often in place to be circumvented, and one relies on innovative methods to bypass the system. In terms of long-term orientation, intermediate score of 51 is what India has. It has a dominant preference in Indian culture that cannot be determined. In India, the concept of karma dominates religious and philosophical thought. Time is not linear and thus is not as important as to Western societies, which typically score low on this dimension. Countries like India have a great tolerance for religious views from all over the world. In indulgence, India receives a low score of 26, meaning that it is a culture of restraint. Societies with a low score in this dimension have a tendency to cynicism and pessimism. In contrast to indulgent societies, restrained societies also do not put much emphasis on leisure time and control the gratification of their desires. People with this orientation have the perception that their actions are restrained by social norms and feel that indulging themselves is somewhat wrong. In terms of technology's impact on the country of India, it is very high. India has more than 40 cable news channels and over 200 channels in total. Television advertising revenue is gaining market share over newspapers and magazines in India. This chart here shows how media is permeating India's culture today.